It is here in The Hague where I bought my first vintage watch. Wearing a mechanical watch can be about status and luxury, but to me, it is more about the appreciation for the objects that I use. Certain items, like a nice watch, will pause your thoughts and your pace and make way for admiration. Besides that, time is the most precious thing we have in our lives, so it deserves to be read from something meaningful. It is no secret that the most coveted watches are classics, designs that have often been around for decades. The Oris Diver 65 is such a watch. Although there are many different executions of this model, there was one specific version from this collection's heritage that ticked all boxes for me. It was a 36mm Oris Diver from 1968 with a black glossy dial and a trapezium-shaped date frame at 3 o'clock. This Oris Diver also had the word Star printed on the dial. It was on the dial for a good reason, as Oris started to use Swiss lever escapements instead of pin levers or pin pedal levers, meaning that from that moment onwards, Oris started to use more expensive and more accurate Swiss lever escapements for their movements. In June 2021, Thomas Rosputinsky, one of Fratello's writers who is specialized in vintage watches, published a story about this beautiful watch. The ball started rolling, and together with Oris, we started to work on something that was inspired by what I think is their nicest vintage diver's watch. In our updated take, we used the 40mm 65 diver's case. We kept the glossy dial with the trapezium date window and made sure the hour markers are printed instead of using applied rings for the hour markers. If you look closely, you will also see that the hour hand is slightly different from the regular Oris Diver 65 models, because it has the split removed. The black bezel shows the 60-minute scale, but instead of only showing stick markers, it shows dots with stick markers for every 5 minutes. The dial comes very close to the original 1968 version, including the automatic and 26 jewels wording. We replaced the water-resistant 100 meters text on the dial with the wording 10 Atmos, like it was engraved on the caseback of the original. We also wanted a black date disc with white printing, instead of a white date disc with black printing. Just like in previous projects, for me it is important that we team up with the right brand and design something that I would buy myself. Working together with Oris has been a joy, and we are incredibly excited to announce that in total there will be 300 pieces of this Oris Diver 65 Fratello limited edition. This Diver 65 limited edition will be available on December 6. It will launch at 6 o'clock AM Central European Time, exclusively in the Fratello shop. But be sure to be quick, because our previous edition sold out within minutes.